Well, good Friday evening, everyone, and welcome to Around the Layout Podcast Live, where model railroaders come to tell their story, even when you don't even know we're going to go live. My name is Ray Arnott, the host of Around the Layout Podcast, and having a little fun on a Friday night. It is bachelor weekend. The girls are off to Maine. I'm here with the dog. The dog and I have had enough conversation, so I figured I'd pop in live and just hang out with you folks on a Friday night and those that can come by and hang out. So here's what we're going to do. If you'd like to come on live on Around the Layout Podcast live tonight, you got something to talk about and share with the group, we'll let you into the studio. To get that link, you just send us an email to hello@aroundthelayout.com. Be happy to have you here in the group and chat with you. And almost as soon as I put up this message, I had a gentleman jump right in, and that's Ed O'Connell. We're going to get him in here right now. I think if we do that and we do that, look at that. We've got Ed O'Connell from Rochester. Good to see you, Ed.
Hey, Ray. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
All
You can hear
right,
me.
wonderful.
That's good. That's good. Good to
Yes.
see you. So,
I just want
Ed,
to make sure that the headset wasn't on mute or something.
you are doing perfect. We can hear you, and we got a bunch of folks joining us live here as well. Canadian Locomotive Logistics also joining us. Ian Farrell. We also have IMR Railroad stopping by, and my wife is also sticking up for the dog, but she's up and enjoying the summertime in Maine for the weekend, and I'm here hanging out with all of you good folks, including Matthew Goodchild also as well stopping by. So we'll have a little bit of chat room. We'll have a little bit of catch up with folks, and we'll start with Ed. And Ed, I'm going to start off by asking you. I see this. Let's see. I think I got to go to this screen first before I do anything. And we'll talk about this in a little bit, and we'll make sure Ed's brought in here. But I also saw this going on. Talk about a little bit of visit. The Op Squad rig is showing up at Otto Vondrak's layout.
That's correct. We had quite a busy week. We were at Sean Carney's, slightly different crew that was down there, but we were at Sean Carney's down in Elmira. He's going to be one of our new layouts that's on the up till you hold on, got to make sure I get the right team. Up around the clock weekend.
There you go.
I screw it up too every now and then.
There's a Syracuse version, there's a Rochester version. We got to make sure we get the right one.
That's right. I had to make sure I get the right one. But up around the clock's coming to Rochester.
Awesome.
And Sean Carney has a layout that's ready. He was hoping to be part of the tour a couple of years ago, but he didn't. He had a couple of life things get in the way that wasn't able to get on board. But things were shaping up, and he was ready to go. We made an appointment to go down and see him on Sunday, and that's a great layout, double deck. I think it's 15 by 28. Set in the 1960s New York Central on the Fallbrook line, which was from Corning to I can't remember, Wellsboro something, Pennsylvania, whatever the New York Central Pennsylvania division was.
Excellent.
But and then on Wednesday, we had this visit over to Otto's. Otto's only about 10-minute, 15-minute ride from me. And we did a shakedown on his layout, and which was pretty interesting because back in May, early June-ish, I'm going to say, he pretty much had a chunk of track down, at least on this side of the railroad. There was some bench work on the other side of that backdrop, but there was no track run to it yet. So from May, and he's been working on getting it there. And this picture here is what wound up happening was, in his haste, he didn't realize that he had one Electrofrog Pico turnout that went into the yard. and he wired everything up and got a short. So Paul brought over his Dremel tool and tried to do a little bit of surgery on a railroad and found out that didn't solve the issue. But fortunately, we got a bunch of heroes here in the Lakeshores division. One of them being Brian Williams, who is also the proprietor of Model Railroad Supply, also known as Mountain Subdivision Hobbies,
Yep.
was able to be Mighty Mouse and rush in and save the day with a brand new uh, Unifrog or Insulfrog turnout that with
Nice.
um, breakneck pit crew speed, uh, Otto was able to change out in about 15 minutes.
Awesome. Well,
So a
good to
little
see
bit of
that Paul was
surgery
using the
there.
safety goggles there too. Very
Yes.
important.
Yeah,
Yep.
fortunately, Otto had them because he forgot his. But here's Otto prying up the faulty turnout, or the I should say the culprit, and changing it out. So
Excellent.
it was
Excellent.
a fun night. But all this
Yeah.
track that was on this side of the wall wasn't there in May.
Oh wow.
In
So
fact,
the Otto's
he didn't even know what track plan he wanted here. It was either going to be this, which is Brewster Yard, because he was wondering if he was going to do that or he wanted to do his old hometown of Katona, New York. But he figured he wanted to rely heavily on a commuter style operation. So this created another yard for him to that we could wind up doing commuter turns here and then having the freight operation on the other side of the backdrop that has to get out of the way of the commuters. But it was a really great evening.
awesome. Awesome stuff. And awesome that you have a group like that that goes around and helps folks with these kinds of things,
Yep,
help
the op
keep
squad
it going.
makes house calls.
Awesome stuff. Well, there's our culprit turnout, and then
That's it.
here's Paul doing some switching, checking it out. So that's great that you had the group
Yeah,
not only there to
he
make
was
those
working the
changes. Yeah.
transfer run coming in from, I think it's Oak Point, which is
Okay.
hidden under the layout. So pretty much under that Brewster scene was a ramp track
Hmm.
that held two tracks that would come up and do the transfer run here in. I think this is Morris
Yeah, port
Yard.
something, right?
Yeah,
Port. I
Port
see
Morris
something on.
Yard.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Yeah, very very cool. Very cool stuff. Yeah, and then there's the motivation right there. I think
Yeah, oh
I
yeah.
think that definitely helps keep things
Yeah,
going.
right. Paul, I mean, I should say Otto does have a Wi-Fi tracks module. He hadn't installed it yet, so Rick Rubino here brought along a couple of Wi-Fi throttles and also his module that also had a an NCE RBO2
Mm,
in it also. So although Otto only ran tethered cabs, we had the ability to run Wi-Fi and radio NCE cabs
excellent. So
or via
Wi-Fi
phone.
throttle,
But
NC throttle, and a whole bunch of snacks to keep you guys
oh
fueled.
yeah,
That
yeah, we were in
definitely
heaven.
helps.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You guys got
Reese's peanut butter cups and kettle chips. I was a happy camper.
awesome stuff. Yeah.
Dinner
So
of
that was
champions right there.
there you go. Snacks indeed. And David Honan also joining us. Good to see you, David. And
Yep.
saying, I can't believe you let Paul have track tools. He seems like he was handling it. And looks like Mike Correa joining us from Mexico. Mike, thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us on a Friday evening. Good to see you, my friend. Bruce Castle also stopping in. My daughter is also in here telling me to feed the cat once I'm finished. That will be get done. New Haven Rails also stopping by and saying hello. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I do like the popcorn in the black bags. That goes first in your house and many of houses as well. That goes in. So
yeah, I'm not much of a cheese guy, so I avoid the nachos, chips, and the cheddar cheese popcorn. Yeah,
looks like
Rob was being the yard master at Port Morris Yard.
Awesome stuff. It looks like Otto's big into paperwork.
Yeah. It was an interesting concept. Just there are three freight customers on this side of the wall. There's a lumber yard that gets one car, and that's the one that's over Rob's shoulder. It's Tolnoy Lumber. And then there's a place called Indico Potatoes, which would be roughly in the area of the station where if everybody else is seeing what I'm seeing on the screen, would be where you are right now.
Oh, awesome.
So that can take three reefer cars for potatoes, and then further on down the line is a industrial branch that goes down to what would be Stelladoro bakeries that would take covered hoppers of flour and other baked products.
Awesome stuff.
So,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
there
on this
you are.
side of the room was Brewster, and the track up against the backdrop there is the interchange to the New Haven. There was one boxcar stage there that me being as the yardmaster was responsible for switching a lumber yard that was out of view to the bottom of the screen. Andy here is Andy Pratt. Is he and his father are building a very substantial commuter operation out in the Penfield in his dad's home, and they're working on that. It's pretty much New Jersey Transit, Amtrak commuter operation in and out of Penn Station, New York, and Newark, and the Raritan branch. And what's an interesting story is Andy Pratt bought my parents' house.
That's neat.
Yeah, so their
Awesome.
their house in Rochester, when they sold it and moved to where we are now,
Mhm.
um, Andy bought the house.
Awesome. Did you know then and they're putting a layout in it as well? So
No, that
no?
that
Okay.
that basement was really not
I was gonna
layout
say.
conducive.
Yeah.
Although when my parents moved in there, it's like, yeah, can I get a layout in here? It's like, no.
Ah, bummer. Oh, bummer.
But the
But
one in
very
his parents' basement, his dad called him up and said, well, they moved into that house during COVID, and his dad's big into layout construction and everything. And he called Andy up and said, half the basement's yours. Start designing a track plan.
there you go. Awesome. Awesome stuff.
And didn't have to ask Andy twice.
Excellent. So it looks like you guys got a great time, and there
Oh,
you
we,
are
we had a
again,
blast.
doing some switching jobs, and so so you would say the op squad went over. You obviously the turnout was one thing that had to be changed physically. What other things that were you guys able to help Otto with to help move this forward, other than shakedown?
Well, we did find out that me being over here in the Brewster yard, uh, we were a little short on equipment, so I had quite a bit of downtime. But what's supposed to happen once he gets more commuter equipment? That Rapido stuff, get the FL9s and those Horizon coaches or Bombardier coaches, I should say, can get kind of expensive. So what'll wind up happening is the commuter trains uh, run from one end to the other. And what's interesting about the layout is it's a single track main line. So while two commuter trains are running, and the freight trains have to stay out of their way, it's still a single track railroad. So there are no
Hmm.
passing sidings. So
Wow.
if a commuter train leaves here, the train can't leave Morris Park until that one gets there.
Oh, wow.
And then they make four trips, and then the yardmaster changes the train set for another 4-piece run. But in
Hmm.
the interim, we're trying to decide if work for the yardmaster to do, either cutting the power off and sending it for fuel and sand, or having a coach that gets bad ordered and have to go to the shop, which would be in the foreground tracks. There could be another situation where the FL9 dies out on the road. They got to send a B-23 to go rescue it.
Oh wow. Okay. So keeping the operations, he's got a lot of options there to kind
Oh
of keep
yeah,
that fresh, which was kind of a topic, was actually the topic when Don and I talked earlier in the week in the
yeah. I
Talking
listened
Ops
to that today.
episode
That was
about
great.
excellent stuff. I got a couple other folks joining us. It's Mr. DJ's Gallery. And we have co-founder NERU asking, Ray, how was your other trip after the NMRA convention? I went down to Charlotte for a work-related thing. It was great because I was able to swing that Wednesday night into a visit over to Tony Sisson's house and check out his layout. Met Glenn Fricks there from the Sipping and Switching Society. And we went out to dinner together and a great time. So I was able to make model railroading a part of my business trip, and that was very important to do. So thanks for asking about that, co-founder NERU. And thanks for coming by and checking it out. We'll have a few more minutes here with Ed, but if you would like to also jump in, all you got to do is shoot me an email to hello@aroundthelayout.com. I'll send you the link to the studio and you can come in and we will we'll chat a bit too. So we'll finish up with some of these photos from Otto's Harlem Arrow. That kind of a different photo. Almost looks like Paul's got a giant head in this one based on the angle. But
Well, yeah, what wound up happening here is they kind of stretched the limits of the yard lead and found out that it's a maximum of 12 cars long. And he just about kissed the wall.
oh, whoops. Yeah, it is good though, those shakedown sessions to find that stuff out, right? Where it's a little less pressure. You got your friends, they're kind of a little less pressure in all of that. It's a really important part, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And let me just put out a shameless plug. I don't know any of the people that are in the chat or anywhere near the Rochester area, but you are more than welcome to participate in Op Around the Clock. All you have to do is just send an email to me at ops@lakeshoresnmra.org, and I will gladly send you an invitation packet that has some layout information and some other stuff in there. You can also visit the website at lakeshoresnmra.org. Look for the tab that says Op Around the Clock, and you can pretty much get all of the information there except for the invitation packet. But that's September the 18th and 19th. Friday the 18th, there'll be one layout, and then you can have another two on the Saturday. And if that's not enough fun for you in the Rochester area, there is a local train show on that weekend also. So you can stick around for Sunday and go down to the train show in Hemlock.
Oh, very
Which
nice.
is a mere, I'll say half an hour, 40 minutes south of Rochester.
Awesome. A little look at the paperwork, a little more detail there. So,
yeah, to give the commuter guys something to do, they would have to fill out their inspection report before the train could leave.
Interesting. Very cool. I'm a big fan. I know that, it's kind of a controversial topic about paperwork or not. I like paperwork. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's like realistic based to the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome stuff.
So this layout's approximately 25 by 25. This is the connection. Oh, just go back.
Oh, yep. I'll hit that back button. There we go.
Yeah, so this is the scene. That little mouse hole in the background connects to Melrose Park, and Stella Doro Bakery is on the other side of that backdrop, and then that will continue on to Morris Park Yard. This is the curve. The track to the left is the branch line that will eventually serve the lumber yard, which is in the distance. However, a custom curved diamond is going to have to be cut in right behind where that boxcar is. So that's as far as I could deliver that particular car. The hole in the foreground will eventually get covered by a faux mountain plug, but the staging yard is under that. So there's two tracks that can probably hold, I'm going to say, an 8 to 10 car train, two different 8 to 10 car transfer trains.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah, we got a couple other people. We got a comment here. I like the relaxed shakedown idea. Tried it with one friend. I need improvements before more company on the Beaumont Hill subdivision. So
Oh yeah, got to
awesome
have a
stuff.
shakedown. The more friends you can add, the better, because you really get the opportunity to see uh, where any of the shortfalls might be before you fill the place up with guests and pandemonium breaks loose.
Awesome. Otto did a great job of documenting it as well. It's always great to be able to go back and remember these times where folks came over and helped, and uh, able to see who helped in the group. I recognize some faces. Obviously Paul Stamp, his Finger
Right?
Lakes channel was a great one to watch on Monday nights. I know
Hmm.
I remember Brian, of course, you in the background. This gentleman right here in the foreground looks familiar, but I can't quite place him. Help me out, Ed.
That's Rick Rubino.
Okay,
He was a engineer for the LANL for a
okay,
while. He's both a member of Paul's GSME, or the Genesee Society of Model Engineers,
nice.
and many years ago, he was a member of the Rochester Model Railroad Club. Um, and he recently came back, I'm going to say about a year ago. So he's a member of both clubs now.
Nice.
But so that's
Excellent.
Rick, and Brian, was able to rush in at the 11th hour with that rescue turnout, so it was a big plus.
Very, very cool. Yeah, but definitely good to have supply locally. It does show the importance of having that ability, especially in a pinch, to keep things moving. So an overhead view, and there's that
Yeah,
wacky head view again
yeah,
over the top. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Awesome.
the end of the line. There's a customer there that takes 2 tank cars. That scene he recently completed, probably within the last week, because he had to get that bridge built and the canal. Now, what's
Huh.
interesting, in the real world, uh, that canal got filled in most of the way, but there's that little part that the bridge now is straight railed. Everything else of the canal that would be up against the wall was filled in.
Oh, awesome. Awesome stuff. Well, very cool. Definitely, if you're looking to follow, I know well, let's go right to that page. Let's see if we can share with everybody. There it is, facebook.com/Harlem. Oh, we're just gonna, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it right in a banner so everybody can see it. There it is, Harlem DeVille layout.
Yeah,
So check that out. That's Otto
yeah,
Vondrak's
yeah. Follow that. Follow
layout.
the Lake Shores page. Uh,
Absolutely. We'll throw that up there one more time so folks can hit it.
yeah,
What? So you've been out with Op Squad and doing that. Plus you've got the Rochester Model Railroad that you're working on, the club. I know you've been doing some major work there as well.
yeah. We finally rang out what the last of the gremlins of rewiring the yard. We had we had probably about a foot of track that was dead, and found out that Frog Drop had they were using some solid wire, and it just wound up separating from the frog. But we were trying to figure out what was going on there. We finally rang that out on Monday,
Great.
and I pretty much tore the guts out of the old panel for the engine facility. And when I get back from Europe in 2 weeks, I'll start putting that one back together, just to get the rat's nest out of it.
Oh yeah, I forgot Ed's big European vacations coming up
That's
here,
it.
and talk about where you're heading. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah, a week in France
Wow.
for my niece's wedding, and we'll hang out there. And then before I come home, going to jet over to Hamburg, Germany, and take 2 days at Miniature Wonderland.
Oh wow, look at that. You're going to have a great time and be able to see
I figure if I'm going
Miniature
to be on the other
Wonderland
side of the
too.
Atlantic Ocean, this is my chance to go.
There you go. That's
I would have gone.
awesome.
My
Awesome stuff.
parents were thinking of sending me for my 50th birthday 15 years ago, but the logistics just never worked out. So
Yeah.
just turned
Now's your
65
chance.
a couple of weeks ago, and now I'm treating myself.
There you go. Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations on that. Happy
Yeah.
birthday, belated, and awesome that you're going to be able to go
Yeah,
see
even
Europe. And
qualify for senior
there you go. That's good
senior
for
rate.
you. Nice,
A
nice.
bonus.
So, yep, no, you'll be getting all the benefits of such now. That's
Yeah.
fantastic and great what you guys do. Not with the op squad and everything else in the Lake Shores division. You got some really cool stuff going on there. And of course, you guys are ramping up. You got your op around the clock event, and then of course Rochester 28. I know a lot of folks are pumped up about that, and getting the national convention up in the Western New York area.
Oh yeah, and no need to wait for that. Rock RPM, March 5th and 6th,
Right, right. So lots going
2027.
on.
Yeah.
Ed, enjoy that time in Europe because it's going to ramp up pretty fast for you when
Oh
you get
yeah.
back in the model
Lo-
railroading world.
Yeah, lots of things shaking in the in the Lake Shores division. So got to get on board.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Well, Ed, thank you so much for joining me on our impromptu Around the Way Up
Yeah.
podcast live. We'll hope that you'll stay in the chat and join us there, and we'll be bringing on our next guest here
Yeah.
momentarily. But thanks
I'll
for
stick
coming
around for
in
a bit.
on a whim. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, which is a little short notice, but hey, what the heck?
There you go. Little Friday night surprise. Thanks for
All
coming in.
right.
Be
All right.
good.
Thanks, Ray. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you, Ed, for joining us. And I'm gonna I do need to, let's see. I gotta kick Ed so that it frees that up. And we got another guest joining us. We'll go back to the let's see here. We're gonna go to, and then we're gonna hit that. And look at that. We got Teddy D. What's going on, Ted?
Hey guys. Hey Ray, how's it going? All right.
It's going great. Little Friday night impromptu chat with the folks that are able to join us here live on YouTube. Got
Cool.
quite a few folks joining us here. So for the fact that we didn't tell anybody, we just did it. We just hit play and try it out.
I was doing my usual doom scrolling through YouTube and I saw it.
The doom scroll.
Let me jump on and say hi.
I was kind of doing the same thing. I think I've worn out all the YouTube videos now, and it's the same stuff. And of course, I don't necessarily always watch, model railroading stuff. I end up watching a whole bunch of other things as well. And I was kind of done with it. It's like, you know what? Let's jump on here and see who's hanging out. So we're doing something completely different.
That's cool. I'm glad I found you online.
Awesome.
Yeah. I got tired of watching all the different stuff that I just it's just like it just pulls you in. Every other video pulls you into some other direction. So
all that clickbait that's out there trying to grasp your attention. But we got you here and we got you chatting. And speaking of lives, you're about 24 hours away, almost to the minute, from your Saturday night weathering that you do every Saturday night at 9:00, right? Look at that.
Yeah. 24 hours, 1 minute away. Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah, you give us a little preview of what you'll be up to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I originally I was gonna finish up the card I was working on last Saturday, and it's right here. But I think it's pretty much as far as I want to go with it. So I'll talk to everybody about it tomorrow night. This was the Winchester and Western Athearn car. And it's funny because I always tell everybody, give it a day or two after you work on a car and see how you feel about it. And I thought I was going to add more to it, but I think it's good enough. So I happen to have another car here and I got to thank Steve Isherwood from up in Canada there, my buddy, who does On the Pine live stream. Just before I come on every Saturday night, Steve is on from 7:30 to 9:00, and he sent me down a couple of cars that he had gotten in a mystery box, and he wants them weathered up, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do with them once they're weathered. But tomorrow night we'll be doing this. It's really kind of hard to see with the reflection here, but it's Southern Pacific Kodachrome caboose.
Oh wow! Okay.
And it's a sound car, so it's got the Tsunami sound card chip in it. It makes sounds. I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm sure it does. It's brand new in the box, so I'm sure it's working. So we'll test it out eventually. I got to get to somebody's layout who's got some sound working on it. I don't
Oh, there
have
you
any
go.
stuff equipped yet on my layout, so.
Well, I see you got you got a power cab up there, so, or something
Yeah,
hanging up
yeah. I
there.
just, I was running down a short that it's taken me a long time to find out.
Yeah.
Usually, what happens is I try to find it and then I give up. And but I think I found it I was talking to Steve the other night. I think I found it while I was talking to him. So
Oh, there you go.
eventually, eventually we get it up and going. I also have what do you call it? The ESU programmer that I've never hooked up yet. So I've had that for about a year and haven't hooked it up yet. So
Yeah, it's not one of those cases where you put the locomotive in the box, you shake it, and it programs. You actually have to
no,
take
no,
it
no. It's
out.
not like
It's kind of the same thing I said about my weathering kit, right? I had all the weathering, all the paints and brushes and everything. I said, you just throw the car in there, shake it, and it should weather it, right?
yeah, it doesn't work like the old bathroom
No.
box where you just shake it.
No, it doesn't. It's something you got to get yourself back to doing, but yeah,
Yeah,
eventually I'll start to get that there. So,
yeah.
yeah, Ian Farrell is mentioning, strange you mentioned, Ray, what's been on YouTube lately hasn't been much entertaining. I was on another live stream and got the alert about this live stream. So thank you, Ian, for joining us tonight.
Well, this is the
And
better live stream. So
yeah, there you go. And
Because
then
Ian has good taste.
and I will see if I can also come up with a link for Steve. Steve is the one I always seem to miss because I don't know what's going on. I should check it out and find out what's going on with my alerts. You see there on the screen, youtube.com @Teddy Chef D. Definitely check that out. Subscribe and make sure you hit the notification button so you, unlike me with Steve's on the Pine, you actually catch it at 9:00 each Saturday night. So
Yeah, I got him set up with notifications. So yeah.
Awesome. It says that will be great, Ted. I have one Kodachrome tunnel motor so far. And yep, that's
I
cool.
figured JP would approve. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very cool story. The whole shouldn't paint so fast Kodachrome story between what was it, the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe, right? And putting those on the shouldn't paint so fast idea concept. Yep. So very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting merger, but when it went through. So
yeah. Now it's always to say, don't count your chickens before they hatch. And that's kind of what's happening right now, right? With NS and UP, there's a lot of people already figuring those locomotives are going to be painted. Who knows? We never know until it's all said and done. It may be tipping away, but then again, there's been other mergers that have been tipping that way and haven't come through. IMRRO.com says nice sticker collection. I see some I recognize. Yeah, he's got quite a sticker collection going.
Half the wall's filled up. I got to get some more. So
awesome stuff. Yeah, so you've been doing some weathering. It's really cool what you're doing. I know that you've been doing. How long you been doing the live stream now, Ted? It's been a little bit.
I think the first live stream, Roy, was down at Markham last year. I did it live from the show, and it was funny because everybody was trying to get me up to 50 subscribers so I was able to do the live stream for MARPM, and I think by that weekend I had gotten up to 51, so I was able to do the live stream. So. Nice. Looked for episode number 1, and it was a Penn Central refrigerator car.
Nice.
And it was live from Markham. That was the first live stream, and it's all history since then. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, it's great that you're able to share that with folks. I'm looking at your YouTube channel now, and Mac, maybe we'll just do this. I think we can go to here. We lose Ted for a second, and then we hit present and this, and yeah, so we'll pull up here's your YouTube channel with all those videos on it.
Yeah.
And definitely go check that out. Episode 45 was the last one.
We're going to 46.
Nice. But a lot of variety. I love the fact that you're not just one type of car. Last week it was that Winchester and Western. I've been told yellow is a challenge. You find that to be the case?
Oh, yeah, that's always a challenge. It's almost as bad as black, or maybe it's probably on par with black. And it didn't help. I think I mentioned it during the live stream, and I know not everybody here sees the live stream yet, but this particular car that came from Athearn, it looked like they printed it in yellow, so it wasn't even yellow paint. So it was super shiny, and it made it that much more difficult. And I had to do something I normally don't do ahead of time. I had to dull coat it. So I had some dull coat, and that dulled it down, and then I was able to have something for the weathering products to adhere to. So it worked out in the end. It worked out pretty good. So, and the yellow is pretty hard. This is probably the third or fourth yellow car I've done. And I get a little better each time I do it. So I don't back down. That's right, Jake.
Nice.
Ain't
That's
nobody gonna
great.
keep me down. No yellow.
No need to back down. Keep going. Episode 45 and going on strong, and got a lot of folks learning. That's the cool part. You got a great chat room going as well, and
Yeah,
folks,
that's the fun part.
chiming in and asking questions, and you're able to somehow manage, using two hands the weather and still able to answer the chat room. That's a talent in itself, let alone the weathering.
Well, I put a monitor up over my desk so I could look up and see who's saying what. So it used to have to be that I have the computer on the side and I had to turn my head to see who was chatting. So now it's a little bit easier. And then 2 weeks ago, I couldn't be on live, so I did a pre-recorded video, and then I was able to get home just in time to join in the chat room. So I was actually watching the video with everybody else, and I was chatting along with them. So I was able to answer questions on the chat. It was pretty cool. So.
Oh, very cool stuff. Yeah. So weathering, and then of course, you're like a regular in all the chats anyway, which is so great. Between our operating crew chat that we do on Tuesdays, and of course, because you're a member of that, we will be giving away this very unique car. I'm not sure how you would go about weathering this thing. This is pretty crazy, but
yeah. A lot of smoke, maybe a lot of smoke damage. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So
that's an interesting car that actually existed, huh?
Yeah, we just learned tonight, we did the pre-recorded part with Broadway Limited, and learned that this car is a real car that was used by the Great Northern. They plated out the windows, and they used it as a classroom and an instruction car for fire prevention, especially back in the steam days and into the transition era of teaching crews how to manage fires, how to put up different types of fires. So this car was moving around the Great Northern system. It'd be a great conversation piece to have on your either on your layout or on a shelf. If you model the Great Northern or any of the railroads that came after, it'd be a great piece to have as a historic part of the history of the railroad. So so if a member of the operating crew, definitely get in there and become a member. It's $3 a month. You get the chance to win every month, plus a sticker, plus the chats. Ted, you've been in the chats, like I said, almost every Tuesday night.
Yep.
And it's a really good one. We have a lot of conversation going on, people talking all model railroading. We keep it really pretty much on the rails, and have some really good back and forth, great tips and tricks, and just great camaraderie. So definitely join that. And then on Thursday mornings, I don't see you there on that one, but Thursday morning, I barely made this one. I was up a little late, but 6 a.m. Eastern time, which is the nighttime for the Australian folks who join us, and we do a chat there for them as well. Plus discounts to select retailers, including MacRail, scale signs, and I believe there's a discount code for Oak Hill in there. There's discount codes for a bunch of our select retailers who help support Around the Layout podcast. So lots of benefits for $3 a month. Just jump in again, aroundthelayout.com/crew, and make sure, like PRR guy just did, make sure you subscribe to Ted's YouTube channel as well. And you can check that out. Not Harlem Division. What do I have up here? Where did your banner go? Check out Otto's layout or layout on Facebook as well, but make sure you're also going, here we go, youtube.com/@TeddyChefD, and join the YouTube channel there. Subscribe. We got to let's see if we can find On the Pine here and give Steve the credit. The credit he deserves. Let's see if I get this to come up. George Brett, Pine Tar incident. No, that's not it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be BN Ironwood Railroad. That's how it's going to come up. So try that.
BN. Yep, there we go. And we will grab that. We will hit that. We will go over to here, paste it into that, and go boom. at BN_Ironwood Railroad, RR. And Steve's got a lot of great things going. His figure painting is something to behold. He does a phenomenal job with that. I know I have. Well, I was supposed to get the first one, but it got hijacked by my good friend Paul over in Australia. So he has that one. So he painted a second one for me and sent it. But yeah, he's done a phenomenal job with creating scenes, creating figures. His structures are gorgeous. Yeah. Steve's got a lot of really great things going as well. So make sure you also go over there, subscribe to his channel again, BN. So his title, the name of the channel is BN_Ironwood_Railroad, but go to at BN_Ironwood RR is where you want to be. So the link that you see on the screen right there, and I will actually even try to put that in the chat. Let me see if I can do that without causing a whole lot of hate and discontent here. So
and he's been working on some buildings. I know he's working on buildings this Saturday. So check it out. He does really great job. Really great stuff.
Very, very good. And I'm going to also try to grab yours real quick, and I will put that also in the chat. And there we go. So there we go. We got the two links there. Anything else going on model railroading wise, Ted? I know you got a great contingent down there in that Jersey area.
Yeah, we're blessed. We got a lot of layouts to operate on, a lot of good modelers, famous modelers, and I'm blessed that I can be able to go and operate a lot of these guys' layouts. Last Sunday was my friend Perry Squire, who does the Pittsburgh, Stroma, and Northern. So that's my favorite layout in the area. I try to only do 2 layouts a month because over here there's so many that you can go operate on. You could do, Friday, Saturday, Sunday almost every week, and my wife would kill me if I did that. So Perry's is one I never miss, and then I usually switch up with some of the other ones. Ted Pamperin's CNO, Tony Custer's got the NKP. My friend Dave Ramos, who's got a really great New York Harbor layout with multiple car floats, and it's like 3 separate layouts within one room that could be operated independently. Just a lot of fun places. Ralph Heiss's layout. A lot of great modelers in this area. So yeah, I'm lucky, and my model railroad activity could be very busy sometimes. So it's good stuff.
All to keep you busy during that retirement. And I know you also got you've got some grandkids that are around as well, don't you?
That's right, man. They keep me busy, keep me hot.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good way to spend your time, doing some weathering, helping folks out, which is really cool. Again, I appreciate you doing that with the Saturday night weathering that you do and sharing that. I always make sure I jump in whenever I can to check that out, enjoy the chat, and just yak back and forth and watch you weather and learn a few things that eventually I'll be able to apply. And I say, if you want to make your model railroading come to a complete stop, try starting a podcast. That'll do it for you. But yeah, nonetheless. And speaking of the Mr. BN Ironwood Railroad, there he is saying hello. So good to see. It's good to see what's going on with Steve as well. We shared your link. We got both links in the chat. You see the chat here. We have the link here, but go into the chat. You'll find both channels. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, do all the tricks, and click everything you need to do to make sure that you don't miss any of their live streams on Saturday nights. So awesome stuff, Ted. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. I'll love you to stay in the chat and hang out with us a bit more. And
thanks for the invite, and thank you for plugging the channel and all the support that you give us.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. So
happy to do it. Thanks, Ted.
All right, sir. Catch you later.
All right. Well, it's awesome. Great to see Ted, and great to see so many other folks as well that are been joining us tonight. As in the chat's grown a little bit. We got again BN Ironwood Railroad Steve joining us. We also have this gentleman here joining us as well. I would say gentleman, I believe. So thank you so much. Ed O'Connell was on just a bit early, and he was very jealous of the quality layouts down there. He learned after he moved from New Jersey. Isn't that the way it goes? I've kind of had that same type thing happen. My grandparents were in South Carolina. They moved to Texas, and that's when I find out guys like our good friends down there in the Carolina area that had some really great layouts, including Scott Lister and, of course, Glenn Frick's not being too far from that up in Charlotte, and Tony Sissons. But glad I was able to get down there and hang out with those folks, and be able to spend time with them and check out Tony's basement. Very talented man, a lot of great stuff going on down there, and the things that he's weathering and doing for other people and including himself, and a great little switching layout, really inspirational as well, to be able to go in and operate that. And he, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off kind of operation on his layout. So that's kind of inspirational to me to, be able to have a layout like that. Sometimes you can't just, put, it's not necessarily in the cards for everybody to have a massive layout. So here's a small layout that, takes care of your needs. 10, 15 minutes, switch a car, bang some cars around, do a little bit of moving around, and then shut it off, go off, do something else, maybe come back to it later. Very, very cool layout. And of course, a great gentleman in Tony Sissons, and then Glenn Fricks from the Sipping and Switching Society. These are all folks that we've had on the podcast before. So if you're looking to check that out, you can always go to our website. That's aroundthelayout.com. I will put that up there. You can search for all of the names up in the top right corner. We're also working on a project trying to categorize all the podcasts, so you can search them for small switching layouts themed, or operations themed, or we've got some categories we're putting together. We got some folks helping behind the scenes. That's really helpful as well. But if you hear one of these names and you want to check out more, definitely go to the website, hit the search button. You can pull up the names and hear their interviews as well. We're also checking out the Corpse Master saying, thank you, Ray, for hosting this tonight. So welcome distraction from everything going on. Hey, I love to be a distraction. Model railroading is our escape and our protest of the real world. So kind of nice to come in here tonight and do a little protesting and to think about and talk about model railroading. And around the globe we go. Darren Lee, a guy I got to see at the 2026 National Train Show and the St. Louis RPM. And Darren and I sat down and had a chat on the train on the Somerville Special. Scale Trains knocked it out of the park, did an awesome job with that. And Darren and I got to chat. If you missed that, you can go to aroundthelayout.com and check that out as well. And like Don needs any more encouragement for his ego, Don Iris, never miss an episode with Don. Last episode was a full on banger, as they say. Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure Don will appreciate that as well. It's great to talk ops with Don once a month and hang out with him. I am wearing my I Survived the Don Iris Operations Boot Camp. I did have the chance to do that a little over a year ago, and I look forward to my next trip to Florida and spending time in that layout. PRR Guy 76 also saying, absolutely, thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. And he says, always a treat to catch a podcast. Thank you so much for that. And Ted also saying, great episode. Thank you so much. So yeah, we had a lot of fun down at the 2026 National Train Show and the St. Louis RPM, hanging out with folks and seeing that, including that interview with Darren Lee. It was great to hang out with him. Well, he was in Australia. Got to see him 3 times, once over in Australia, twice here in the United States. So very cool to be able to do that. There we go. Listen to the latest Talking Ops episode on the way to work. So Ian, thank you so much for that. And then you, Canadian Locomotive Logistics, saying, I always enjoy the conversation with Don. Someday I hope to do a remote ops with him. So very cool. Yep. Very good stuff. We'll be hanging around here for a little bit. If you'd like to jump into the studio, just got to send us a message. hello@aroundthelayout.com, and I will send you the link for the studio if you'd like to come in and join us. If you heard that faint horn in the distance, it sounds like the Providence and Worcester is sending their NR2 down to New London. So that's what you'll hear out my window. And Darren Lee also saying, getting to share this great hobby. Love to hear from you, Darren. If you want to jump into the studio, just send me a message and I will send you the link. Let's see. We got, let's see what else we got. We got somebody else here that is looking to jump in. And let me see if I can put the link up there and hit reply. There we go. So, John, you should be getting that link here in just a moment. And then once you do, feel free to hit that and we'll get you into the studio for a few. And again, anybody else that'd like to join, just hit me with an email, hello@aroundthelayout.com. And we'll get you in here and we'll chat for just a few minutes. I figure we'll spend the next 15 minutes or so chatting with folks. Don't want to go too long tonight. I do have an operating session tomorrow at Neil Schofield's house up in just outside of Auburn, Massachusetts. I think it's actually Southbridge is where Neil is actually located. Seen the layout, haven't got to operate it. It will be my first time operating at Neil's beautiful CP. I think it's Lindenville sub. And if you have not seen that, oh boy, NRS 8500, I believe, is his YouTube channel. Go ahead and check that out. And we will go here to our 2-person interview and we'll talk to John. John, great to meet you and welcome to Around the Layout Podcast Live.
It is good meeting you as well, Mr. Ray.
Awesome
there
stuff.
Get some better light in here.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So I am a recent graduate from Utah State University out in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of shaky because this is the first time I get to actually face-to-face to meet you, and it's a pleasure and an honor.
I'll let you down very quickly, so go ahead.
I very much doubt that, but all right. The Utah State.
Awesome.
I'm a recent graduate in product development and advanced in additive manufacturing. I am currently in my makeshift layout room. As you can tell, I've recently moved as of graduation.
Okay.
So it's a process. Me and the wife have moved, and we're still kind of getting settled in, but getting there.
Awesome. So what interests you in model railroading? What is it that you look to model?
I am kind of in all over the place. I've got some good stuff sitting next to me right here. I'll show you a project I'm kind of working on. It's still boxed up, but I've got some SD40T-2s that I am taking from a 1974 as delivered to a 1980 plus version.
Okay.
All
right.
So I'm a bit of a rivet counter, if you could say.
What brought you into that? What's gotten you interested in doing, upgrading from 74 into the 80s?
Just kind of the uniqueness of the 80s, because it's that cusp of the deregulation era.
Okay.
So you get into the aspect of like, okay, well, you get the how do I put it this way? So you get the aspect of like things are changing. The Rock Islands just went bankrupt. Conrail's starting to turn, more into its own entity away from the government. And then you get a lot more of kind of the mega mergers and the Super 7. So I find it very interesting for that. And there's a few relics that you can kind of catch because like I've got some CNW lease cabooses that I picked up recently. And those are ex-Rock Island cabooses, but they went back to Union Pacific still in that lease paint. So it's like you can end up with, having that around.
Awesome. So what keeps you busy in between? I mean, you've obviously have made some purchases. You have the locomotives there, but you're just recently moving. What keeps you busy within model railroading right now?
Currently, you can kind of see the diorama project behind me.
Yep.
That is something that I'm working on. I've been working on since college. That's what I made in college in one of my Woods classes. And with that, that's what I'm going to assess my skills on before I really go into like a switching layout. I used to have a switching layout when I was in like kind of a student housing scenario, but I've since disassembled that because we'll just say it was put together very haphazardly.
You learned a lot though, right?
Yes, and that's why now I've got some 1x4s that I'm planning on building it out of because it's a lot lighter than 2x4s.
Yes.
Now that I'm out of college, I no longer have to work at the standard hardware store and get Cole lumber. So,
Hey, did you lose your employee discount though?
here's the fun part about Home Depot. If you work there, you don't get an employee discount.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they give you a what they call is success sharing. So it's like a half a year bonus, and they're like, oh yeah, here's like $100 for gas, and you're like, oh okay. So if the store sells more, then you get more of a bonus.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, yeah, different ways. I would have figured there would be I figured there'd be at least some kind of bonus or something to do that with, but that's cool. That's awesome. So so you got a little bit of space now. You've moved into this place. You're going to be able to do your diorama. What's your plan for your diorama? Do you know what you have for a scene in mind?
kind of. I've got it's still boxed up, but I have a station that I was working on, and I'm planning on getting the interior lighting and all that done, because I have what are they? It's a guy who sells them on cardstock, and they're like interior kits for models, like for model buildings. And I can't think of the name, but it's a great business I bought from. I think it's out in Canada or partially. And with all of that, I was recently able to get the interior done, but there's still a couple lighting effects I need to do. And then I've got I think I have a box. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can break into this. Got a box cut in here. There we go. And I have recently kind of delved into the aspect of hand-laid rail. So if you're familiar with the Roadmaster track, that is what I'm going to be using.
We are very familiar with Roadmaster track here at Around the Layout podcast. That's for sure. Our good friends at Oak Hill Model Railroad Track Supply. So it sounds like you went to ohrtracksupply.com and ordered some Roadmaster track.
Yeah, I used to intern with Jeff Otto as well. So
there you go. Okay, so Jeff, that's great. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Jeff's a great guy and a great supporter of Around the Layout. So glad you got a great connect. There's only a few degrees of separation in model railroading, isn't there?
Very true. There's a few folks, like I know he knows Kevin Tolley.
Yep.
And I'm looking at getting some grain stuff from him at some point for when I do my switching layout, which I'll put on this wall. And now that I finally have like 12 feet worth of space, I can actually build something. So
yeah,
it'll be a lot easier. So
awesome stuff. We'll catch up with the chat room here. Some folks have been talking about the units that you've shared here, and let's see. The 80s dirty as hell without steam burns. That's sounds like a pretty accurate description. And he's saying if you do not build your layout of 6x6s and 2x12s, you're not trying. You don't have to build them where you have to put an engine block on them. I'm guilty of overbuilding a little bit as well, but check that out. And then
very true.
Yeah, Rumetz is the company, and
Rumetz.
So that was the one you were looking for. Awesome.
Yeah.
Dundas Junction joining us tonight. Great to see you, James. Thanks for stopping by on a Friday night. And it's the comment here sounds like John has a good base to start. All these things can be used again on as your layout grows. That's absolutely correct. Great way to do it, right? You're starting small. You're not trying to go too crazy. Keep it manageable. Well, you're a young guy building your career, and
let me hold you up on that real quick on that starting small.
Okay.
This is all -9s and AC44s.
Well, okay. I meant your layout, not necessarily your collection. Well, I'll have to introduce you to my good friend Matt Fricks, who will start to talk about guardrails. But that's great. You're enjoying the hobby. You got a good collection going there. You'll definitely have enough power and rolling stock to last you a bit. And hey, it's all part of the hobby. Great that you're doing it. So awesome that you jumped in here and joined me here on this impromptu live here on Around the Layout podcast live.
I more than appreciate it. So
yeah. Well, awesome, John. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us.
Anytime. I'd be more than willing to do it again. So
awesome. We'll be in touch. We'll talk soon. Thanks, John.
Awesome. Anytime.
Well, very cool. And look at that. The people that you meet and are able to talk to on these live impromptu nights. And then we're going to join here by a good friend. And we were just talking about him, and look at that. He's got stuff on the bench and building it. Our good friend Steve from Ironwood Railroad. Steve, good to see you.
How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing awesome. So glad you're able to jump in here on this impromptu Friday night for a little bit to chat. And your ears must have been ringing because we were talking about you, and then all of a sudden there you are, you pop up and appear. So glad you were able to come in and join us.
Yeah, I've just been working on some stuff, getting ready for tomorrow night. So I've
Awesome.
been practicing some different roofs on these two little buildings. And then this is what I've been working on on the Saturday night, which is a moonshiner's cabin. Goes along with the actual moonshiners. Oh, wait. I'm not. There we go.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is one of the first ones that I did when I got back into the hobby. Little wood kit.
Yeah, I tell you, that was one thing we were talking about with Ted is just your ability on the scratch building, your figures, and this stuff is just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it looks like you even got a very familiar face there hanging out on the pine, as you like to say.
Yeah. Well, the name I get for my love of baseball, and there's lots of people that say they're at the bench, on the bench, whatever. So obviously the baseball term would be riding the pine. But yeah,
true.
there always seems to be a Ray floating around my bench at some point.
Yeah, even ones that are stolen by guys in Australia.
Yeah, he got nicked pretty quick when he got over there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's yeah, he ended up keeping it, but that's okay. He's got me set up in his trailer park taking photographs for some reason. I don't know, like a crime scene or something he's got going on over there, but that's awesome. Yeah, you got Teddy also saying Steve to you, so good to do that. And you got all other folks saying hello as well. And yep, he is right. You do see a mini Ray, and then
too.
And it's talking about the dog. It says, love the dog, Steve. So that must have been one of the ones that you were holding up. Okay, awesome. So is that Teddy?
Yeah, that's Eye Patch Ted.
Oh, Eye Patch Ted. Awesome.
Yeah, this roof was actually done in a similar way that Ted does work on his cars. So even though Ted's doing cars, you can still apply what he's doing to other facets of the hobby, right? Like this was I sponge painted a bit of color on it, but then it's oil brushers brought down top to bottom, and then a little bit of powder on top.
Oh, very cool.
So
Yeah.
same process, different application.
Love it.
Always learn something.
There you go. And that's what you do. You do a lot of this kind of stuff in your shop. You do it on the live. Talk about your live and tell us when we can find that. We got the link up here, but when do you go live is what I'm trying to say.
My goal is always 7:30 on Saturday, followed by Ted at 9. I have been known to hop on at random times. So the bell's always a good thing. So probably the next couple weeks we'll be finishing up the moonshiner's cabin, then we'll be back on doing some figures.
Awesome stuff. And then you got a couple comments here. It says, I like the tin roof on the building on the left.
So here I'll quickly mention the maker of that kit, which is Interaction Hobbies, which is a Canadian company. Mm-hmm. And it comes with this little setup, which if I can get it, it's basically grooved. So even after you're done building the kit, as you build more kits, you still have this, and it uses the I just knocked over the punk rocker there. The tin duct tape, the adhesive,
okay,
right? And then you just cut it to size, push in, slide down. I didn't do that on camera, did I?
No, that's okay. Well, we got there you go.
And you make the grooves in the roof.
With all that is your tin tape. I forgot what the heck they call it, but yeah, you're
It's
like your
tin
3M stuff or yeah. As long as you get stuff that doesn't say 3M all over it, I'm sure that'd be good.
Well, it just requires more paint at that point.
Or yeah, you end up with a roof that says 3M all over it. But no, that's great. That's phenomenal, and they give you the tool to do that, and you can continue to make those tin roofs. So very cool. It was Interaction Hobbies, you said. I've seen their stuff
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. He has quite a few kits.
Thank you. HVAC tape.
Always got the directions nearby, so there we go. There's a spelling.
Awesome. Inter-action hobbies. Okay. Interactionhobbies.com. Definitely check them out and check out the products they're offering. I know a lot of the figures you have on the table are from our good friend at Yelton Models.
Yeah.
And he's supplied you with some of those. So got some good Canadian connection up there.
Yeah. I guess being in Canada, I try to show a bit of the Canadian stuff that people might not get to see otherwise. But
awesome.
I know Yelton Models is in Spring Creek, which is obviously one of the big ones up there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So good place to get any of the figures, or a lot of the figures that you see. We got Butch here as well.
Yep. I got to get myself a Butch Eiler.
I'll send you one.
All right. I gotta get I should have looked, or probably that one's probably a special order from Yelton Models. But anyway, Bruce Castle saying his Moonshiner's cabin is in the mail. Another that's awesome. So very cool. And then Canadian Locomotive Logistics says hooray, Canadian. Then again, he models NS, so go figure. But
I model BN, so
there you go. That works. Awesome stuff. Well, definitely get folks to go over to your YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BN_. Wow. You think I'm a podcast host and could speak. youtube.com/@BN_IronwoodRR. And we did put a link to that in the chat. Scroll back, you'll find the link. You'll be able to subscribe. I got to fix my subscription to it because I don't know what the heck keeps happening, but for some reason I don't get the alerts when you go live. So I'm going to go check it right now. It says all, so and we'll make sure I'll set my alarm on my phone for 7:30 tomorrow night, so I make sure I catch it. So
sometimes I'm a bit late setting it up if I've been out through the day. Sometimes I get home just beforehand.
Gotcha.
So maybe
it's not all my fault. Here's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll take some of the heat for it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate you doing that and saving me a little face here. So awesome stuff. Well, Steve, thanks so much for jumping in here and sharing what you've got going on your bench. And hopefully folks that are watching tonight will join you tomorrow night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on your YouTube channel, where they can learn quite a bit about structure building and weathering and painting figures and much, much more on your channel. So Steve, again, thanks for joining us and thanks for being a member of the operating crew. Steve's another one, a great supporter of Around the Layout podcast, and appreciate his friendship and his support.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Ray. Appreciate it. And that operating crew is honestly the best $3 anybody can spend.
Well, I do appreciate that. We have an awesome giveaway going on at the a little over a week. We'll do the drawing for that. So if you're listening now, become a member of the operating crew for as little as $3 a month at aroundthelayout.com/crew. Thank you so much, Steve. We'll be seeing you very soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Back to the solo view. And thank you, Steve. And thanks everybody who's been joining us here on Around the Layout podcast live, our little impromptu Friday night hangout that we've been doing. And I've been going for about an hour. An hour is usually my limit, so we're going to call it a night. But I want to thank everybody who came by and introduced themselves and caught up with us and shared and did all those great things with us. So again, thanks for everybody in the chat for joining in and keeping the chat room going as well. And again, if If you want to join the operating crew and become part of that, we do these chats every Tuesday night. Great group of folks around the layout.com/crew. If you, the shop, if you want to get yourself a shirt, I would suggest that you go survive the operations boot camp before getting this one, but there are others around the layout.com/shop. And make sure you sign up for our newsletter, atlpextra.com. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out with us again on a Friday night. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you again soon. Good night.